in Ministry of Finance. सर आपका भी वेलकम और सारा मेरा एक्सपोर्टर का भी वेलकम. सारा एक्सपोर्टर सर मेजॉरिटी ऑफ आवर एक्सपोर्टर्स आर फ्रॉम MSME sector. Federation of Indian Exporter Organizations are 60 years old organization. We set up in 1965 by Ministry of Commerce, and we have around 37,000 members right now. Out of these members, majority people are coming from MSME sector, and we represent almost all sectors of India in the sense from AI to IT to textile to agri to plastic to chemical to ceramic to tiles or to pharma. Every sectors we are represented. And majority of our exporters are from trading background also and are also from manufacturing background. So this is the right platform to introduce the custom related scheme, custom related approaches and custom related developments and all. Second thing is that custom in the last 10 years changed a lot. Custom are doing the excellent things related to export promotion also and export ease of doing business also. Before 10 years, there were no much schemes and no much how to see the exports. Right now, custom also changed a lot. Before 10 years, whenever I was in DGFT, I know one new scheme was launched by Custom Department. It is called AEO scheme. If you have the simple form of that scheme is that if you have some export or import more than 25 containers, you are eligible under AEO. Under the scheme, you have some green channels, which your consignment will be clear soon. Your payment of duties can be deferred also and can be do on the self-declaration basis. Assessment can be done later. And you are preferably given some more preference to custom clearance, your consignment cannot be held and all. But under that scheme, there are several difficulties in the sense that majority of MSME exporter are not eligible under that scheme, because some are doing only 10 container export throughout years or importing something 10 containers import and all. Under that scheme, there is another problem is that MSME exporter are facing some problem related to payment of custom duties. Earlier, you have to pay custom duty, you have to assess everything, and then you can clear your goods for domestic purpose or domestic use and all. Similarly, in export, you have to clear everything, you have to assess everything, and then go for exports and all. Under the new scheme and under Miss Officer from Custom, Shri Kashyap Sahab will give you more idea about the scheme and all. Under the new current scheme is that we know in the last 5-10 years, government is believing on you in the sense you are the trustworthy partner. You are not only exporter or importer. You are citizen of India, and we are believing in much that on the trust basis means you can clear your goods without payment or defer payment of duties without doing the things is that correct assessment or not. You can do clear your things through self-declaration basis or some the assessment basis that assessment can be deferred and payment of duty can be deferred. The idea behind the scheme is that you cannot stuck your working capital in the payment of duties. This is the main idea, because custom duty is always to be paid in cash. There is no any in the sense just like GST, it cannot be paid through your credit or credit cannot be given on the GST on custom and all. So let me give the introduction of the scheme and let me put my word over here and let me transfer the main things to our custom officer, Shri Mr. Kashyap, and he will give more idea about the scheme, outreach about the scheme, and the step-by-step process of the scheme. Thank you very much. And again, I am welcoming Kashyap sir and also all my exporters. Thank you very much. Sir, you are not audible.
Yeah, thank you, sir. As our ADG sir said, this in fact is a scheme which has been recently introduced in this particular finance budget. And the aim is in fact to defer your customs duties and taxes for a period of 30 days. For more details, I would request Mr. Ishendra Kashyap, Joint Commissioner for Department of International Customs, who will be addressing you right now and giving you a presentation on how to go about registering for this particular scheme, as well as the details of the scheme. Mr. Kashyap, sir.
Thank you, Shanaji. Am I audible?
Yes, sir, you are.
Okay, so I'm going to share my screen now. So just let me know if my screen is visible.
Yeah, it is visible, sir. Yeah.
Okay. So, respected members from All India Importers and Exporters Association, Suvisaji, ADG FIEO, Srinathji, Director, Exim Policy FIEO, other members of trade, and dear colleagues from CBIC, good afternoon, everyone. I'm Ishant Kashyap. I'm Joint Commissioner in the Office of Directorate of International Customs, DIC. DIC is the nodal body. It's a national program, like AEO Program Manager for India, and it's a attached office under CBIC. And we have also been interested with the execution of the EMI scheme, the Eligible Manufacturer Importer Scheme, which I'm going to talk about today. So this is a landmark trade facilitation measure, as already introduced by Suvis Saji. So this has been brought to support the domestic manufacturing sector. I'll explain more later. And the idea is that the taxpayers will get exposure to the trusted facilitation network, the system which Indian Customs has been following since a decade with the introduction of AEO program. So let us begin with this presentation. So before we proceed, just here's a quick roadmap of today's presentation. So we will cover the following 10 key sections. So firstly, we'll just take a brief overview of the scheme. What are the key features of the scheme? The eligibility criteria, who can apply. Thereafter, we'll look at the benefits of the scheme for manufacturer importers. Part 5, 6, and 7 will take you through the process of applying for the EMI scheme and how to avail the benefit. So we'll just share the screenshots and I'll just go through the entire process. Section 8 is it relates to suspension. So we'll be looking at the conditions and the reapplication rules which pertain to the suspension of EMI. And in section 9 and 10, we will look at the linkages between EMI scheme and the AEO program and what are the long-term benefits of transition from EMI to AEO program. So let's start with section 1, overview of the EMI scheme. So basically, before we go into like the key features, let's look at the this word EMI scheme. So there are basically four words here. So we'll first look at the word scheme. So this scheme is basically a facility given by the government for deferred payment of customs duty at the time of import. So in a routine manner, if you're going to clear goods from customs, so under section 47 of the Customs Act, you have to pay the duty before the goods are cleared. Under deferred payment scheme, you're given a facility which allows a specified importers to clear goods without immediate payment of customs duty. You have to pay it just like what you do for GST. You can pay this duty once a month. So this deferment rules was already applicable. This was introduced in 2016, and the AEO T2 and AEO T3 clients are already eligible under this deferment rules. However, from 1st of April 2016, this year, from 1st April 2026, a new eligible class, this eligible manufacturer importer, EMI, this class of manufacturers has been added to this list of importers who can avail this deferment facility. So EMI, so basically EMI, so the word I is basically importer. So the applicant must be a registered importer under the Customs Act and must be holding a valid IC. Manufacturer, the entity must be a manufacturer. So so the scheme is open for manufacturers only. It is not for traders. However, this is not just for direct manufacturers. So those entities which get their manufacturing work done through job workers under section 143 of the CGST Act. So they can also apply. So both direct and indirect, like job work based manufacturers can apply for the scheme. And last, the eligible word. So basically eligible. So there are certain conditions such as turnover, import documents filed in previous year, etc., which needs to be satisfied before you can avail the scheme. So before I proceed further, so there is this a confusion which exists among many is this, like, how is AEO different from EMI? So we'll focus at 3 points of comparison, and I think this will give you a broad idea about the differences. So first of all, AEO it provides both the benefit of deferred duty as well as the facilitation in the port processes. So both benefits are there. For EMI is like a lighter version of AEO with reduced eligibility and a smoother registration process, and it has the facility of deferred duty only. So that's point number one. But point number two is something which I want to highlight. So, so while the AEO program, the basic idea, so AEO has been launched under this WCO SAFE framework. So the basic idea is like oriented towards facilitating global supply chains and providing international recognition of Indian exporters through mutual recognition arrangements. EMI scheme has a clear domestic focus. Its primary objective is to boost domestic manufacturing by extending the benefit of duty deferment directly to manufacturers. So this is a very key distinction. So the objective of EMI is to boost domestic manufacturing so that the manufacturers get incentives of deferred duty. And lastly, again, for the application point of view, this is very important. EMI is a completely online scheme. Unlike AEO, where there are processes of physical verification and documentary requirements, so eligibility in EMI is assessed on the basis of GST records and documentary compliances available. There is no requirement of physical verification. The entire process from application to approval is designed to be paperless and system driven. So these 3 points, I think, like clearly bring out the policy intent behind introducing the EMI scheme. So with this basic understanding, let's look at the key features of the scheme. So first of all, this scheme has a sunset period. So the scheme is operational from 1st of April 2026 this year to March 31st, 2028. So basically the scheme will be operational for 2 years. And the idea is that after 2 years, the EMI entities there will be a glide path towards transition to the AEO status. Deferment payment feature. So this is the key feature. You can clear first, pay later. So basically, once you have availed this scheme, the importer can so the system will shift from transaction-based duty payment to monthly duty payment. So again, no interest will be charged if duty is paid within the deferral period. And if you default more than once in the continuous 3-month period, then this will lead to temporary suspension of the facility. There are some of the benefits. I think it will lead to reduced port dwell time. It will support just-in-time manufacturing. It will promote better working capital management, and it will improve supply chain efficiency. So these features together make the EMI scheme highly attractive for manufacturing importers. So who can apply? Basically, the applicant must be an importer holding a valid IC and a manufacturer. So how the manufacturer has been defined is that in the registration document, like in the GST registration document, the applicant must have at least one active GSTIN in which the nature of activity has been declared as factory/manufacturing in the REG01 form. So basically, an applicant under GST needs to declare what is the nature of their business activities, nature of supplies. So you have several options. You can be a trader, you can be a wholesale business, you can be involved in renting of immobiliary space, etc. So you need to declare that. So basically, you need to be a manufacturer, which is assessed through this point that you need to declare factory/manufacturing activity in the REG01 form. And for job work applicants, so those those entities which are getting their manufacturing done through job work, both job worker and the applicant needs to have proper this REG01 declaration in the registration form. So customs activity threshold. So this so again, we have borrowed this from AEO basically. So you need to have 25 exempt documents in the previous financial year. And for MSMEs, this they have been accorded relaxation and they can proceed with 10 exempt documents only. Next, we look at turnover business requirements. So the aggregate turnover across all GSTINs linked to the same PAN. So basically, EMI is a EMI is an entity-based registration. If you get EMI for one entity, so you get the facility for entire GSTINs. So the total aggregate turnover of all the GSTINs linked to the same PAN must be 5 crore or above in the last financial year, and business must be operational for at least 2 financial years. Again, on the date of application, all the due GSTR3 returns need to be filed. So for example, if you are applying for EMI scheme on, let's say, 15th of August, then the last GSTR3 which had to be filed was for the month of June, on the 20th of July. So June 3 return needs to be filed on the date of application if you're filing on 15th of August. Similarly, if you're filing, let's say, on 25th, then July return needs to be filed because 20th has arrived. And the application must be supported by a CA certificate, which certifies the financial solvency. Legal compliance requirement. So we have borrowed this from AEO. The applicant mustn't have any arrest, convictions, or pending prosecutions under customs, GST, or excise. There should be no cases where GST, excise, or service tax has been collected but not paid. So these are the applicant is to declare these things. I'll just quickly go through those slides. And so there are again, one more important distinction. Unlike AEO, where we have this requirement that there should not be any show cause involving forgery or fraud, there are no such requirements because the entire processing time for an EMI application is 15 days. So the moment you file, so within 15 working days, the application has to be processed. So as a measure of trust, we are proceeding without looking at the SCN history. But post registration, if we get some information, we may look at those show causes. And but again, the disqualification criteria are these only. So like having no arrest, conviction, pending prosecutions, no pending cases where GST was collected, and false documents should not have been used in the EMI application. Yeah, one more thing, existing AEO entities. So let us say AEO T1 basically, so they can apply for EMI. And even for, let's say, T2, let's say your application has not been, the application has not been reprocessed and your certificate has expired. So for the interim period, you can apply for this EMI scheme. So benefits of the scheme, I think we'll just quickly go through this slide. So the EMI scheme offers several tangible benefits. So it improves cash liquidity and working capital management because the duty does not have to be paid immediately. Second, clear first, pay later. It ensures faster custom clearances and reduce port dwell time. Thirdly, better cash liquidity helps manufacturers pay their job workers and business partners on time. Fourth, entities availing EMI gets a clear advantage vis-a-vis those who are not availing the scheme. So collectively, these benefits strongly support, just-in-time manufacturing and improve overall supply chain efficiency. So the benefits go beyond the deferred payment of duty. They also help in better supply chain management. So this brings us to the end of section 4. Now section 5 onwards. So basically this is, so this will cover the exact operational flow, how the scheme works in actual practice. So the scheme, so firstly, the manufacturer needs to submit their registration. So the process begins with application and system enablement. The manufacturer importer registers and submits the EMI application online through the AEO portal, same aeoindia.gov.in, along with the prescribed documents. The DIC verifies those documents, examines the eligibility, and approves the accreditation. And once approved, the EMI status is enabled in the system, in the custom automated system, and becomes valid at all custom locations without any need for separate approvals. Next, we have as part of application filing, you have to nominate a nodal person. So I'll go through the slide, so then you will get a better idea. So while filing bill of entry, the manufacturer importer selects payment flag D for deferment, and the nodal person authenticates the request, and which enables the goods to be cleared without upfront duty payment. Okay, so duties are to be paid first of the following month. So let us say if the bills of entry are for the month of 1st of April to 30th of April, then the duty needs to be paid on 1st of May, except for the month of March, where duty needs to be paid by 31st of March. I think I've already explained that if you miss the payment deadlines more than once in 3 consecutive months, then this will lead to a temporary suspension of deferment facility. So this is the application files, their registration on EMI on the AEO portal. The details are verified. Again, this is just a very like bird's eye view of the process. So the applicant first registers on the portal. After successful verification, the application files the EMI application. The application then goes to verification. It may be returned for correction or rejection if deficiencies are found. And on successful verification, the DIC approves the application and enables the duty deferment facility on the custom system. So let's look at the screenshots. So this will give you a better idea. So this is the AEO portal, this aoindia.gov.in. So as you can see on the right side, inside the red text box, you have to fill in your username, password after the initial authentication. So you fill in the username, password, and enter CAPTCHA. Then you enter this portal. So basically, you have, as you can see on the left side, inside the text box, you have this EMI application form. Once you click on the form, something similar appears. So you have, so there are several tabs. So part A, you have to fill in general details like IC code, legal name, address. I will go through these exact requirements later. Either I or my colleague from DIC will go. Just this is like just a broad overview. Excuse me. So basically, this has IC code, legal name, address of the applicant. So few basic details needs to be filed. Thereafter, we move to part B, details of manufacturing units. So this is important. So like basically, let's say that you as an applicant, you have multiple GST registrations. Let us say that you have a, let's say, a manufacturing plant in Greater Noida and a trading arm in Delhi. So you need to provide the GST of Greater Noida, UP registration. So in part B, you need to fill the that GSTN which has manufacturing activity declared in their registration form. You have to fill whether the GSTN is active, date of commencement of business, in how many factories are there under this GSTN. So basically this is part B. Part C, so job work, I like will explain it later. So this is legal compliance. So basically these are all declaration based. So whether the applicant is financially solvent, whether the applicant is listed as insolvent, whether the net worth is positive. If it is not, then you have to give the reasons. Whether net current assets are positive, and if they're not, you have to provide the reasons for the same. So this is similar to what we have in AU applications. Part F, contact details. This is also very important. So basically, the mobile number which you are entering here, this is the same mobile number which will be used for authentication of this deferment facility while filing on the IceGate portal. So I'll just again, in later slides, I will go through them. So this mobile number needs to be entered carefully. These are some of the upload documents which need to be uploaded. IC copy, PAN copy, CA certificate, financial statements, and authorized signatory document. Some basic undertakings are to be given and submit. So this is it. So this is how you apply for the EMI application. So once you have applied and once you have successfully registered for the EMI scheme, so on the IceGate portal, you will see a tab, deferred duty tab. You select the location of the port where goods have entered. So you will get all the bills of entry which are which are connected to the selected port, and you can select the bills of entry for which you want to avail the facility of deferred duty. So in all probability, you will be selecting all the bills of entry. So once you've selected, you can submit. You will be asked to send an OTP to verify. And this OTP will go to the phone number of the nodal person, like the contact details which you entered while filing for the EMI application. So this OTP needs to be verified. And that's it. So you will be able to avail the deferred duty facility on the selected bills of entry. So this is it, I think. So this section 8, this is about uh, suspension of EMI approval. So basically, I think other points are like there's one important point. So if let us say you fail to uh, pay the deferred duty like more than once in 3 consecutive months, then this will lead to temporary suspension, which you can request and it will be revoked. However, there's one important point. If suspension happens on account of use of false documents, let us say you put a fabricated CA certificate or a fabricated balance sheet. If forgery is detected, then the suspension is permanent. You can never avail the benefits of the EMI scheme again. So this is an important point. Yes, and last point also. So even if your AEO application has been rejected or it has expired, the entity can apply for EMI scheme. So linkage between AEO scheme and AEO program. So on previous slides, I focused on the differences, but overall there are shared objectives. So both are meant to be a trade facilitation and compliance measure. Both initiatives aim to improve ease of doing business. The deferral period is available for in both EMI scheme as well as the AEO T2, T3 entities. And so the idea of EMI scheme is that it will encourage the entities to progressively move toward AEO T2, T3. So basically, EMI scheme can be seen as like a foundation stage. So basically, it establishes a basic compliance framework so that it can build internal processes. You get this experience of on this experience of working in the trusted framework of Indian customs. And thereafter, you can move to AEO. So first of all, after the sunset period, you have to choose the AEO scheme, or you will be, or the duty deferment facility will no longer be valid. Further, you get several benefits from not only from customs but also from partner government agencies, PGS also. It provides other benefits like faster clearances. You can get this international recognition. You become part of this international supply chain, trusted international supply chain, and through MRA with partner foreign custom organizations. And this strengthens end-to-end supply chain security also. So basically, so this is uh, the key line. So while EMI scheme prepares organization internally, the AEO program elevates them to globally trusted status. So what are the benefits of AEO entities? I think I'll just briefly go through the slide. I will share this slide with the organizers, so you can avail this slide after the PPT. I think this is widely known, so I'll just skip this slide. It is to like priority processing of cargo, DPD, direct product delivery. This is one of the key attractive benefit of AEO. And again, MRAs and PGs I've already discussed. So these are additional benefits by PGs. I will lecture this slide so you can have this look after the presentation. So this is it. I think yes. So okay. So DIC has set up a dedicated like phone number as well as a help desk to assist the EMI applicants. And as part of this PPT, I'm also sharing my own personal email ID. So if you have any query, any issues on EMI, I am always free. Please feel free to reach out. And like before I conclude, I want to emphasize on 3 key points, like 3 takeaways, if you can say so. So firstly, EMI helps you in saving in capital. So again, by allowing you to clear first and pay later with zero interest, it frees up your cash flow. Secondly, EMI is helps in reduced compliance burden. So custom duty payment becomes a monthly phenomena, just like GST returns. Instead of making payments transaction by transaction, you will be able to pay the duty amount once a month, and this significantly reduces your compliance burden, documentation efforts, and operational hassle. And thirdly, and I think most importantly, this entire EMI application is a completely online process. You don't have to go to any office. There will be no physical verification. All you have to do is to upload few documents and file the application, and then you are done. The entire application filing can be done within 30 minutes. So this is it from my side. Thank you very much for your patient attention. I'm grateful for all of you for sparing a valuable time to attend this outreach program. And sincere thanks to the organizers for taking out efforts to help organize this outreach program. We are partnering with AEO on like many fronts now, and we're going to have, I think, around 20 odd outreach programs planned in the month of late August and in month of September. So thank you, FIEO, for being cooperative. And so if you have any query, we are more than happy to answer them. And I'm also joined by my colleagues. I think Mr. Canning, Mr. Anu, I think both of them are here. So if you have any query on EMI scheme, the floor is all open. Thank you so much.
Thank you, sir. Now, before handing it over to Suhani for moderating the interactive session,
Sure,
I
sir.
would only like to ask a few questions, sir. You see, as far as India is concerned, there are quite a few pockets like Tirupur in Gujarat, Tirupur in Tamil Nadu, and of course Gujarat also, where there are quite a few merchant exporters who have got supporting manufacturers. Now, as far as the merchant exporter is concerned, are they also eligible in this particular thing? Suppose they have a supporting manufacturer, because especially in the textile and leather and other industries, we have these supporting manufacturers. So are they eligible? Number one.
So basically, again, the wording which has been used in the notification is job work based manufacturers. So if you have a job worker, if you're filing those ITC 04 forms, and if your job worker is engaged in manufacturing, so you can avail this scheme. So if the merchant exporter is involved in pure trading, which is also very common, but if it is involved in pure trading, then they can't avail the scheme. But if they retain the ownership of the goods and they just send the goods for job work, then they can avail the scheme.
And secondly, sir, of course, job work you have already answered. But as far as the manufacturer, supporting manufacturer and merchant exporter, do they have to have a turnover of 5 crores, both of them, or merchant exporters turnover will do? Because supporting manufacturer will not have a export turnover.
So this is like total turnover. This is not just export turnover.
Okay.
So and this requirement is for everyone, actually.
And is that based on GST payments?
GST, yes.
Yeah. Thank you, sir. And secondly, sir, thirdly, as far as the 30 days is concerned, will this commence after the approval is given? Or will you be counting these 30 days right from the day of the application? Suppose I apply today. Your application process is 15 days. Once you have applied and you have approved, then whenever I import, that is when the 30 days tenure will start, right?
No. Sorry, no. So basically, this deferment is month-wise. So let us say you apply on 2nd of April, okay, and you get application on, let's say, 15th of April, okay. So after 15th till 30th, whatever bills of entry have been cleared, the due date will be 1st of May.
Okay.
It has nothing to do with application date. So even if you get application on 1st of April, then also you will get the facility benefit for the entire bills of entry filed after your application has been accepted till the end of the month.
Okay, so then we get this thing of
So the 30 days doesn't start with application date. It has more to do with the month, like the month period.
Okay. So it starts from the first of every month.
Yes, yes. So the benefit which you, so let us say that you apply, and for subsequent months it will start from first of the month, but on the month in which you're getting the registration, it will start from the day of your registration till the end of the month.
And this particular scheme is only for 26-27 fiscal? Or
Till 28, till to March 2028.
2028. Right.
Yes, yes.
Thank you. Suhani, if you can please
Sure, sir.
forward with the rest of this.
Thank you, sir, for the presentation. Now I request the participants to please use the raise hand option under the React tab so that I can unmute you accordingly. Yes, sir. Mr. Sanjay Deshmukh. Sir, please go on.
Good evening, sir. We are already AUT2, so I think there is no need for this EMI certificate, no, in that case?
Yes, yes, sir. There's no separate requirement because you're already going to avail all the benefits under the EMI. Like the facility of deferred duty is already available to you.
Yeah, we are availing that benefit.
Yes,
but
yes.
just one question. Now I want to go for my certificate will be expiring next August 27. So I'm AUT2. So if I want to go for AUT3, can I apply for it, or there is certain different conditions for that?
So the process of applying for T3 is separate. So basically you have to, like, again, there is certain, I think there's a 2-year window period. So you need to be a T2 entity for 2 years before you can apply for T3.
This is our second term for AUT2. First,
yeah,
but
I think you, but you need to apply separately. So like the EMI route is not it won't be applicable to you. Yeah. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, sir. Sona Eatables India Private Limited, please unmute.
Good evening, everyone. My question is, when we apply for the EMI scheme, hello, am I audible?
Yes, sir. Now you're audible.
When we are applying for the particular customs transaction, custom duty payment transaction, or if we are approved registration of the EMI scheme, then is there any procedural buffering time for the approval of that particular transaction, or it will be approved on just in time basis or instantly?
सर आपका वॉइस इको कर रहा है कहीं, और मेरे ख्याल से आपके ही कमरे में मोबाइल किसी का ऑन है, तो उसको अगर ऑफ करके फिर से रिपीट करें क्वेश्चंस.
नहीं सर, मैं अकेला ही ज्वाइन हुआ इधर से.
So I will request the concerned person to just type their request in the chat box, and some of my officer will get to that. As far as the buffering time is concerned, if I understood him correctly, so once you avail this scheme, thereafter this facility will be made available automatically. You can go to the IceGate portal, and then you can simply avail the scheme as I discussed in the PPT. So there's no lag, as I'm supposed to speak, but definitely it might take around few hours at least. So that much leeway you need to give to IT systems. Otherwise, there is no lag as far as our law part is concerned. Yeah. Thank you.
सर इसका कोई एप्लीकेशन फीस भी है क्या?
No, there's no application fee.
Okay. Thank you.
I request participants to please use the raise hand option to ask a query, or you can write in the chat box also.
And I will request my officers from DIC, Mr. Canning, if you see any query in the chat box, so please let me know, and then I will hand over this presentation to you so that you can answer the question. Like otherwise, I'm also open, but I'm unable to see the chat box. So
there is one question in the chat box. This is by our Northern Region Chairman, Mr. Arvind Goenka. He says, in the case of AEO T2, T3, the customs official visit and have to approve the factory of the applicant. Although you said no office is to be visited, but is this same thing being done for EMI also?
So for AEO, physical verification is mandatory. For EMI, I will reiterate, there is no physical verification. The entire process is online. And one more thing, actually, in EMI applications, the processing takes place in two stages. Stage one, you first get those security measures checked, and field officers. So let us say you are placed in, let's say, Coimbatore. So Coimbatore customs will, like officers from customs will come, they will verify, and then they will send the verification report to DIC, which is the National AEO Program Manager, and thereafter will process the application. In EMI, the entire processing takes place at DIC. So there's no role of any field custom officers. So, and that is why it is like unlike AEO, which takes around 7 to 7 month time. The processing time, as mandated under the notification, is 15 days.
Right. Mr. Jitendra Kumar.
Thank you, sir. Sir, please unmute.
Hi, good afternoon. Are you able to hear me?
Yes, sir.
Okay, my question is regarding AEO because I'm trying to see. Sir, you mentioned that EMI is not for the merchant exporter. I want to know, is AEO T1 is eligible for the merchant exporter?
Yes. So AEO T1 entities can be merchant exporter also. However, they do not get the benefit of deferment.
Okay. Okay. Thank you, sir.
Only when they become T2 and subsequently T3, they can avail the benefit of deferment. So this EMI is like a shortcut to to availing deferment facility.
Okay,
Thank
thank
you.
you, sir.
Thank you.
पर सर अगर जितेंद्र कुमार जी का सपोर्टिंग मैन्युफैक्चरर होता है, then he is eligible for EMI.
So again, the idea is that you have to be So are you sending your goods to job worker? Is your job worker file? So again, like, and the job worker needs to be a manufacturer. So that you are saying that you're, like in your example, the supporting manufacturer is there. However, the goods ownership needs to be with the entity. So they can't. So basically, it has to be under this job work provision under Section 143 of the CGST Act. So if you are trading, so if let us say, so there are many small manufacturers who are unable to export. So they employ certain trader who are closer to, it's a custom port, and like that entity acts like a catchment for all those small manufacturers. So as of now, EMI scheme is not applicable to them. However, we are in discussions on how to enlarge the reach of this EMI scheme. So if we get like inputs from trade or from FIEO or from any trade body, we'll definitely consider this. We are actually yeah. So one more point. So like right now we are considering a revision of this EMI scheme. So based upon our experience in last 3 months. So basically, so we are going for this revision. So we are trying to simplify. So firstly, we're trying to go for radical simplification of the documents required. So all the data and documents which are already available on the back end, we're trying to do away with the requirement of uploading or feeding it manually by the applicant. So that's number one. Number two, we're also trying to like relax this criteria. So for example, this payment thing. So we have received a lot of feedbacks that the payment needs to be shifted. So instead of fixing it on the 1st of next month, it should be shifted later, let's say 10th or 15th of next month. So we are considering that also. And thirdly, there's also this requirement, like this feedback which has come from trade bodies that while availing the scheme, so while you are opting for the bills of entries, there is no facility of opting for the bills of entry in bulk. So you have to do it manually. So this was also raised with the IT department, and I think this will also be covered in subsequent days. So we are going for some reforms in the EMI scheme, and if just this total documents requirement, so like total number of data fields So it is 55 right now. 55 line items have to be filled right now. It is going to be reduced to around 25, with mostly those fields will be yes, no, like binary kind of things. And based upon the PAN number or the IC number, we will fetch those details, all the details which we are till now asking from the applicant. We will get those data from the backend.
Sir, one more question from my side. इसका और एडवांस ऑथराइजेशन या DFI EMI का एडवांटेज क्या है? एडवांस ऑथराइजेशन में मेरे को 18 महीने का टाइम मिल रहा है, 6 महीने का एक्सटेंशन मिल रहा है, जहां पे ड्यूटीज विल बी, अगर मैं एक्सपोर्ट करूं, जो डिफरमेंट इज देयर ऑफ ड्यूटीज एंड दैट, बट यहाँ जो है इसका एडवांटेज ये है कि मैं इसका भी जब तक एक्सपोर्ट करूं तब तक मेरा वो प्रूफ ऑफ एक्सपोर्ट दिखाने के बाद ही मेरा ड्यूटी जो है पेमेंट चलती रहेगी. लाइक फॉर एग्जांपल मेरा मार्बल का बिजनेस है, टॉप वर्किंग मिला, बाहर से मार्बल आ रहा है, वहाँ जो मार्बल है वहाँ पे एक मेरा ऑप्शन है कि मैं एडवांस ऑथराइजेशन पे मार्बल जो है इंपोर्ट करूं, जॉब वर्किंग करके बाहर पे. अब इसका भी अगर मैं EMI में शिफ्ट करता हूँ, इसका भी क्या वो पर्टिकुलर मैन्युफैक्चरिंग टाइम मेरे को दिया जाएगा, या इसका कोई ऐसा कोई टाइम है जहाँ पर?
सो देखिए, आपके केस में देखो, एडवांस ऑथराइजेशन एक अलग स्कीम है, उसका भी बेनिफिट आपको मिल रहा है. अगर आप EMI में शिफ्ट करते हो तो लेटर से आपका कोई भी ड्यूटी वाला इंपोर्ट है वो आपका जीरो हो गया. आपको उस पर ड्यूटी पे करना है, बाद में पे करना है, मतलब आपको 1 महीने का टाइम मिल गया. नंबर 1. नंबर 2, जो आपने बोला कि अगर आप ये DFI में अगर इंपोर्ट कर रहे हो आप, तो आपको एक्सपोर्ट ऑब्लिगेशंस होते हैं. जो मैंने फर्स्ट स्लाइड में पॉइंट बोला था कि इस स्कीम का जो मेन फोकस है वो है डोमेस्टिक मैन्युफैक्चरिंग. सो मैन्युफैक्चरिंग को प्रमोट करना है. सो अगर वो मैन्युफैक्चरर एक्सपोर्ट ना कर अगर DTA में भी सेल कर रहा है, EMI उसके लिए एप्लीकेबल होगा.
अच्छा,
EMI के लिए फिर भी एप्लीकेबल है बिकॉज वो मैन्युफैक्चरर है. बट आपका जो बाकी स्कीम्स हैं, जो ड्यूटी फ्री इंपोर्ट होता है और ऑथराइजेशन होता है, वो सारे आपको एक्सपोर्ट ऑब्लिगेशंस आते हैं उसमें. सो अगर कोई डोमेस्टिक मैन्युफैक्चरर है वो भी अगर इंपोर्ट कर रहा है तो उसको ड्यूटी बेनिफिट मिलेंगे इस स्कीम में.
तो
सो जो प्राइमरी फोकस है डोमेस्टिक मैन्युफैक्चरर्स पे. सो दैट इज द होल एंड सोल ऑफ द
कॉन्सेप्ट एज सच. तो इसको कैसे मॉनिटर करेंगे कि अगर मान लीजिए मैं इंपोर्ट करता हूँ, ड्यूटी डेफर कर देता हूँ और माल बेच देता हूँ, तो
वो हम लोग आएंगे उस पर बाद में. लाइक आई थिंक राइट नाउ हमारा फोकस है कि मोर एंड मोर पीपल इस स्कीम में आए, एंड वी आर मॉनिटरिंग. सो वी आर मॉनिटरिंग दोज पीपल जो कि ड्यूटी डेफर करके पेमेंट नहीं कर रहे हैं, बट वो सब्सिक्वेंटली आएगा, उस पर भी एक्शन आएगा. तो अभी मैं इससे ज्यादा कोई रिवील नहीं करूंगा.
right sir.
Thank you.
Any other questions from the participants, please?
So we have one in chat box. Should the importer have to consume all the imported goods for manufacturing only, or it can be a mix of manufacturing and trading? How will it be controlled?
सो अगेन ये इशू पहले उठ चुका है. सो इसके लिए हम लोग एक मेजर ला रहे हैं. फर्स्टली जो इनका क्वेश्चन है, सो ये तो कंफर्म है कि ऐसा जरूरी नहीं है कि आपको 100% मैन्युफैक्चरिंग ही करना है. आप पार्ट ट्रेडिंग, पार्ट मैन्युफैक्चरिंग कर रहे हो, फिर भी आप अवेल कर सकते हो. सो ये जज किया जाएगा कि आप अपना कैश लेजर से कितना ड्यूटी पे कर रहे हो. उसका एक थ्रेशोल्ड आएगा कि बेसिकली कि एज ऑफ नाउ एलिजिबिलिटी क्राइटेरिया में नहीं है, बट वो बैकएंड वेरिफिकेशन के लिए हम लोग इसको यूज करेंगे कि अगर लेटर से ऑल इंडिया जो नेशनल एवरेज है वो शायद 16 to 20% है लाइक वैल्यू एडिशन का. सो लेटर से अगर आपका वैल्यू एडिशन 1% हो रहा है तो लाइक्लीहुड बहुत कम है कि आप मैन्युफैक्चरर हो. तो मोस्टली आप ट्रेडिंग कर रहे हो, तो देन यू विल बिकम इनएलिजिबल. सो बट इट्स नॉट कि आपको 100% हो सकता है कि आपका 50% ट्रेडिंग कर रहे हो और 50% आप मैन्युफैक्चरिंग करो, तो यू आर अलाउड फॉर दैट. तो उसमें कोई दिक्कत नहीं है.
Yes.
Thank you, sir.
Any other additional questions? Mr. Anwar. So, Ani, would you like to read it out?
Yeah. If any transaction,
I can read it. I can read it. Thank you. So I just opened the chat box. So if any transaction payment issues where we need to register the complaint, can you please share the email ID EMI help desk email ID? My colleague will be typing the email ID of the concerned help desk.
आप मिस्टर अनवर का ईमेल आईडी पूछ रहे हो?
नहीं, अनवर का नहीं, मैं कैनिंग को बोल रहा हूँ कि जो DIC का जो ईमेल आईडी है वो शेयर कर रहे हैं अभी
अच्छा।
चैट में. मिस्टर कैनिंग. सो एनीवे, अगर वो टाइप नहीं कर रहे हैं तो मेरे स्लाइड में
सर आई एम टाइपिंग सर.
ओके ओके, थैंक यू सर, टाइप कर रहा हूँ. मिस्टर मानव का, डू वी नीड टू अप्लाई फॉर EMI स्कीम एवरी मंथ? नहीं, वन टाइम, सिंगल टाइम एक बार कीजिएगा एंड इट विल बी वैलिड फॉर 2 years. So I'll read this actually, so maybe it will benefit everybody. So his question was, do we need to apply for EMI scheme every month or is it just one time and we are good until 2028? So आपको एक ही बार apply करना है, only one time.
Yes, sir.
Mr. Amin, if we, so Canning has entered the help desk. So for any queries, whether it's application related or payment related, anything, you can just email your query on this ID. And the question, Mr. Amin, my question, if we as merchant exporter do CMO, contract manufacturing, okay, via LL or P2P contract to manufacture our brand, does it consider as expected manufacturer? So again, like I'm not very sure about the exact contract terms. So the idea is this, that you need to be a manufacturer. This will be gauged by the fact that whether you have registered as a manufacturer or like whether you have like manufacturing facilities available with you, how much are you paying in cash, whether there are like whether you are filing ITC 04 forms, which is for sending your goods or capital goods to job worker. So there are 3 or 4 conditions. So if you fulfill all those conditions, you will be considered as a manufacturer. Thank you, Amin. Thank you.
Any other questions? I also see Mr. Pankaj Agarwal. He's handling a very farm to folk kind of thing, exports कर रहे हैं. Mr. Agarwal, आपके इस तरफ से कोई questions हैं? Mango exports, especially fruity, and Caventer's is famous for that. Yeah. Sunai Eatables.
So you can unmute.
सर मेरा एक सवाल था कि कई बार आपने आइसगेट पोर्टल पे पेमेंट करते एक दिन में तो रिफ्लेक्ट नहीं होता है. तो समझो अभी मुझे फर्स्ट ऑफ द नेक्स्ट मंथ का आपने ड्यू डेट दिया डिफरमेंट के लिए और वो फॉर सम टेक्निकल रीजन 1 तारीख को वो रिफ्लेक्ट नहीं हुआ, तो फिर उसका पेनल्टी इंटरेस्ट मुझे अननेसेसरीली भरना पड़ेगा? फिर ये उसको क्या प्रोसीजर रहेगा? या फिर वो हम एक दिन प्री पेमेंट सेफर साइड लास्ट डे ऑफ द सेम मंथ करके उसको खत्म कर सकते हैं, ऐसा कुछ रहेगा उसमें?
Prepayment is always allowed. You can prepay anytime. एंड जो आप बता रहे थे 1 तारीख वाला जो डाउट था, वो जैसे मैंने पहले बताया कि वी आर ट्राइंग टू शिफ्ट दिस डेट फ्रॉम 1st of next month to let's say 10th or 5th, whatever. Like so we are trying to give some time for reconciliation and everything. So I think like very soon you will see an amendment in this regard. But as of now, yes, I think you can pay 1 day in advance, so there is no bar in prepayment.
सो अगर फॉर सम रीजन डिले भी होता है तो रेट ऑफ इंटरेस्ट क्या है?
That I need to check. रेट ऑफ इंटरेस्ट क्या रहेगा? आई थिंक 1 या 2 इशू हमारे पास आए हैं जहां पर टेक्निकल इश्यूज के कारण वो लोग 2 या 3 दिन डिले हो गया था. तो उसमें आई थिंक इंटरेस्ट I'm not very sure about this कि exactly like interest waiver या interest का क्या rates रहता है. अगर मेरे team members हैं तो if they can just comment on this, and we can move on to the next question in the interim.
Any more questions, please?
Of course, this is not the first and the last of the EMI outreach programs. हमारे outreach programs अभी September तक चलेंगे. We'll be giving you more of the virtual program links. Mr. Shanmugam. Suhani?
If you can read, I think I closed my chat box.
Yeah. So,
Yeah.
sir, he's asking, how can we distinguish the duty deferred payment for the product used in manufacturing or trading? We may use duty deferred for trading import also as the product combined in the same import.
I think this again relates to the same thing. This like whether, if I understand the question correctly, so whether the imported goods can be used for solely like like whether the imported goods ought to be used solely for manufacturing or they can be used for trading also. So as I again said, so it is not a requirement that you have to be a pure manufacturer and you can't trade. So trading is allowed, provided this value addition part is there, and the other parameters which this value addition is 15% for all except okay. So yeah, so basically there has to be some value addition, and which we will determine, I think, and it will be declared also. So what is the expected value addition, and the factory premises. So we take the details of factories. The declarations need to be there in the GST form. And if you're involved in, let's say, job work placement factoring, then you need to file the ITC 04 forms. So as of now, it's not so trading is not a bar. You can trade, but there should be manufacturing, and the primary function should be of manufacturing, which we will gauge from the value addition thing. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. And Kenning has also replied that an annual interest rate of 15% will be applied on the delayed amount, calculated from the first day after the due date
Okay.
until actual date of payment.
Okay.
It's
Okay.
15%.
Okay.
If we do not have any further questions, in fact, आपके ख्याल में और questions सवाल अगर आते भी हैं, me and Suhani are always available. You can forward it to us, not only during the question answer stage, पर कल के डेट में अगर coordination भी करनी होती है Mr. Ishendra Kashyap से, since you are basically participants from all over India, FIEO will be happy to coordinate on this particular thing. And अगर आपके कोई सवाल नहीं और है तो we can in fact defer this particular program to the next program, which I think is happening in Mumbai, sir, on 14th of
14th, yes.
14th of August.
14th of August.
So you can in fact join once more. I thank all of you for this particular 1 hour of very valuable time of yours. Thank you, Kashyap sir, for your time as well as your colleague, Mr. Canning. And we'll close this session for today. Thank you, sir. Thank you.
Thank you. Thanks a lot. Thanks a lot.
So much, sir.
Thank you.
Thank you to all the participants for joining. Our email IDs is shared in the chat box.